Hi, hello, welcome. So today we are on to the second part of our redecoration series, I suppose you could say. So in the last one, in case you haven't watched it, you should go check it out, you know, wherever that pops up, you should check it out. Because in that video we did... Because in that video... Why can I not say that sentence? Because in that video we redecorated the closet in my bedroom, and in this one we are going to be redecorating my bookshelf. So as you can see from the title, we are going to paint this bookshelf rainbow. It's going to be very nice, I think. I really want something a bit more lively, I suppose, this time in my room, because I don't know. I really like colours and I think it's going to be a fun one. You know, we need a little rainbow in our lives. We all do. I tried looking into it a little bit on YouTube, because I did come up with this idea on my own, but I wanted to see if there was like a trend or anything about painting your bookcase rainbow, because rainbow, you know, that's always something on YouTube, isn't it? So I wanted to check in case like someone who created a trend or whatever, so I could recognize that and, you know, leave them in the video and all of that. But as far as I could see, whenever I tried searching, and I tried searching on a lot of places, honestly, even fucking Pinterest, and I mean Pinterest usually has anything, right? Whether it's real or not. But yeah, I just couldn't find anything about, well, not much anyway, about people painting their bookcases rainbow. What I did find usually when I searched like that was people reorganizing like the books by color in the bookshelf, because that's apparently a trend. I had no idea until I looked that up, but I understand that. But like, come on, I was looking for someone actually painting their bookcase, not just reorganizing like the covers of their books in rainbow order. But yeah, that's what I seem to be able to find. I think the closest I could find was this like adorable person. This video by this creator Strawberri. And honestly, you should check out her video if you're still like itching for more rainbow paints. You should go look at that in the description, because honestly she seems really sweet and lovely, and yeah, I think you should check out her video. And she honestly probably does this a whole lot better than I do. Let's be honest, because well, chaos is my virtue. I feel like this intro is a little chaotic, so I'm sorry if it is, but like, I've been trying to record because, you know, we're nearing Christmas at this point. I'm having some low-key Christmas vibes. It's green, it's a bit of a colour, you know, I'm trying. It's a bit of a Christmas vibe, but not too much, you know? But what I was going to say is, a lot of people are home now, because like I do not live alone, and a lot of people are in the house, so it's a little bit more difficult trying to find time and opportunity to record without people being around or making noise or whatever. So yeah, it's a bit more chaotic, a bit more stressed, a bit more rushed, I guess, but yeah, we're just gonna have to deal with that, aren't we? So without any further ado, let's just get right into the redecorating, shall we? Enjoy! Okay, and here is the bookshelf in question. As you can see, it is white, it is bland, and it's quite boring, and in desperate need of a makeover. So let's add some life to this lovely little bookshelf, shall we? And here are the colours that I've chosen for this project this time around. As you can see, we are going for somewhat of a pastel rainbow kind of vibe, but seeing as I only have 5 shelves, I had to choose only 5 colours, and they were not easy to find, so bear with me here. So the paint is a little bit scratched up in certain places on this, because it's already been painted like a few years ago in the colour that I do want it to have, which is like this, how the fuck do I translate that? It's a Norwegian name for it. Like, what's wrong with me? It's literally just pale sand in it. It's really not that hard. It's like an off-white kind of colour. And some areas on this just doesn't look all that great. You can see there, for instance. So yeah, I'm just gonna go over it with a new layer of paint, you know, before we start with the fun paint, the colours. And with that, we officially started the project with this incredibly boring white on white paint. So yeah, that's really exciting, isn't it? I'm gonna save you a lot of this anyway. I'm gonna speed it up a lot more so we don't have to watch this for ages, because, well, honestly, we don't have time for that, my loves, now do we? There's rainbows to be had after all. And this was the moment my very floofy dog decided now was a good time to walk into the room and lie down right next to the freshly painted surface of the bookshelf.
Night, night, stop. Night, 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 night. Stop, stop. Här. Kom här. Icke borte, icke borte, icke borte. Som. Och så hit. Kom. Så. Där. Så. Det kan du göra.
Did you catch that?
Det kan du göra.
Even the crows are laughing at my misery now. That's just great, isn't it? If you're wondering why I'm using a paintbrush instead of a paint roller for this part, it is because I was running dangerously low on paint and I was very determined to not have to buy another can of paint to be able to finish this project. But as you can see, it is at this point very much so empty and I had to suck it up and get a whole new can of paint to continue my project. What am I even doing here, honestly? Like, what kind of working position is this? What? Just flip the bookcase! Okay, so we're ready to start with the color. And I've tried to, as you can see here, lightly, approximately, line up about where I need the colors to meet behind the shelves so they won't be visible. Well, the lines won't be visible, hopefully. But yeah, we're gonna see how that goes because, well, that wasn't easy. And as you can see, they're not the straightest lines, but that's alright. So we are starting with the pink colour, generally a bit more fleshy and light than I expected, but you know, work with what you got. Ah yes, nice fleshy close-ups, lovely. With the first colour done, we are moving on to the second colour, this very bright orange. And believe me, this orange has its own set of issues that we will talk about later. Although the close-up of this one is far less unsavoury than the last paint colour. I'm looking at you, fleshy pink. We are now on to our third colour, namely this rather mysterious looking yellow. And I say mysterious because even besides the fact that this colour was oddly very difficult to even find in any way, shape or form at all, it also came with its own set of fun little quirks. Namely things like being far too dark, yet somehow also far too thin and having little to no coverage despite many a coat. With the yellow out of the way, we are now onto our fourth colour, this lovely light green. And let me tell you, this is the good egg of the bunch. It did its job wonderfully and gave me absolutely no extra headaches. So enjoy some lovely close-ups of a lovely unproblematic colour. Last but not least, we have this wonderful blue turquoise colour, and I must admit, when it comes to this, I am a little bit biased with this one because turquoise, teal or minty type of colours are my absolute favourites, and here you go, a lovely close-up of this beautiful, beautiful colour. Look at that, it's just amazing. I absolutely love these colours. Like I said, very, very much so biased. But yeah, as you might have noticed in the beginning, this colour was a lot darker before I started stirring the pigment in, obviously, which of course a lot of paints can be. But in this case, it was because I bought this paint quite a while ago and it's just been standing in storage really, because I was supposed to use it for a different project and then ended up not doing that project. So yeah, it had just started solidifying a little bit and had some sort of layer of pigment on top. But after removing the layer and stirring it around quite a bit, it was perfectly fine to use, you know. It's just slightly thicker of a consistency than the other paints of the same brand, but you know, I checked it and tested it first and it turned out fine, so yeah, no problem there. Alright, so I've mixed up a very messy small batch of like paint because I wasn't quite pleased with this orange. Like, it looks kind of good on the camera and I thought it looked really good in this picture, but for some reason I don't quite agree with this thing. Like, why is it so dark? Why is it so brown? You know? This yellow is a bit dark as well, honestly. Let's not talk about that because yellow was hard to find, alright? Oh, that's a lot of dust ice. Please don't look at that. But yeah, this orange is a bit too brown for my taste, so I did try to like fix it up a little bit by mixing in some of this yellow, which is also a bit dark, as you did see. So I'm not sure it's really going to do much, but we're going to have a look. I'm going to try painting with this for a layer and see how, you know, how that fits. What I think about that. But yeah, as Sophia says, this is science, but it's bad science. It's bad paint science, honestly. Colour science, I don't fucking know. We're just gonna have a bit of a go with that, aren't we? Are they gonna all end up looking the exact same? Possibly, potentially. There's definitely a possibility for that, yeah. We'll see. We sure will. And with that, I have flipped the bookcase and I am now onto the last remaining squares on the opposite side on the bookcase. And I'm testing out this slightly modified orange here for the first time. And as you can see, even as it's drying down, it is in fact looking a bit lighter than the other one. So I guess mission accomplished. With those last remaining squares finished, this is what we're working with thus far. It's looking pretty good in my opinion, pretty promising. It's a new day and we are on to the second of many, many coats involved in this whole process. So we're just going to zoom past this really quickly because, I mean, honestly, it's just me painting the same colour over and over and over again. But just know that there were many, many coats involved in this process, especially for the pink and yellow colours to become quite as opaque as I needed them to be. Many coats later, we are now moving on to some finishing touches. I've taped up the borders of each colour and as you can see above the edges of the tape there, the lines aren't fully even everywhere. So I'm just going to go ahead and neaten those up a bit. And as we wait for that to dry, we move on to the shelves. It is at this point I spot a nasty little spider just running across my room.
hoppar de.
But I am terribly afraid of spiders. Now, any spider lovers out there needn't worry. The creature was humanely captured and safely released outside. With that crisis averted and the shelves painted, we move on to the tape removal. As you can see, the lines still weren't perfectly neat though, like not that I needed them to be, I just needed them to be hidden behind the shelves so that you couldn't see a different colour over the shelf, but sadly you still could, so I ended up having to go back and neaten up those lines quite a bit because, as I said, they were still showing behind or like above the shelf. So this is the result right after taking off the tape, and this is the result after going back and neatening it up a bit. You probably can't even see that much of a difference on the video, but believe me, when testing with the shelves in, there was a lot of difference. And here is the finished bookshelf. I chose to keep the shelves themselves white because I wanted a more laid back look, and also they are already painted, so I didn't want to glue them down with more paint and risk not being able to fit them into the bookshelf anymore, you know? But yeah, I'm very pleased with the result myself, from something so white and bland and boring to something with so much more personality, so much more colourful and lively. I mean, look at that, it's fine, but it's just bland, isn't it? And then so much more personality, so much more life, you know? A lot happier furniture. So that was the second part of our redecoration journey done with. I hope you're liking it so far, you know? It has taken a long time, I will tell you that much. Which you'll see more so, I think, in the third and last video of this series of mine. Because, oh my god, there was so much happening, there was so much going on while I was trying to do this. And it's also been, honestly, like a couple of months now, I think, since I started it. Because we're in December right now, as I'm filming this right now. We are in December. We certainly were not when I started my project. I think maybe October or something. Yeah, I think it was in October when I was working on my redecoration of my bedroom. So yeah, things certainly take some time. But to be fair though, I've added a few extra last minute details and stuff like that to the room, so I'm going to be putting those in as well, and I've been filming for those as well, like tiny little bits here and there. So yeah, it's just the completion of it all, I suppose, that I'm still working on. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you liked the result. I hope you found it entertaining to watch me struggle, which I tend to do often in this DIY stuff of mine. If you liked the video, leave a like, you know, that would help tell me that you enjoy what I'm making. And if you want to see what else I come up with and continue on this journey with me, you know, hit that subscribe button, you know, and ring the bell so you can always be notified when I put out a new video, some new craziness for you to watch. And if you'd like, please leave a comment, you know, tell me what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Would you do it this way? Would you do it differently? Should I have done something else? Would you have done this in a different way? Do tell me, you know, I'm interested in hearing your opinions about it. So yeah, and I'll just remind you once again that I'm going to be leaving the link to the other video of the other creator, Strawberri, that I mentioned. I'm not collaborating with them or anything, I just, you know, I found the video while looking around to see if any other people were doing these kind of videos, and I thought she seemed really sweet. Her video was quite nice. She does the redecoration like a whole lot more organized and properly than I do. So if you want something a bit more relaxed and something a bit more professional, maybe you should go watch it. It's a nice video. With that, I'm gonna say thank you for coming along, and I hopefully will see you in the next one. Bye! Bye, 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 bye.